Welcome back. It's me, Taraji Henson, filling in for Kelly today. That's right, it's no Kelly. No official audience, but you've got me. So Kelly told me to make this hour my own, and that's what I'm doing. As you may know, mental health and wellness is an issue close to my heart. In fact, 3 years ago, I founded the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, named after my dad. He was a Vietnam vet who struggled with PTSD. For millions of teens, the pandemic has turned the challenge of mental health into a true crisis. That's why I'm happy to welcome my next guest. They're brothers using TikTok to raise awareness and make a difference for teens going through difficult times. They're what we call rad humans. So, from the Persevere Project, please welcome Carter and Ashton.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh my goodness, I'm just so proud of you too. This all started by accident, right? How?
Yeah, so it was during quarantine and I started making these videos because during that time I was kind of going through a hard time like I think everyone was.
Yes.
And so I started making these videos because I've always loved to do music ever since I was a little kid. And it just kind of like helped me cope with anxiety and my stress by making these singing videos. And Ashton would actually help me record them, you know, we would go out to a sunset and just record these covers. And then that's kind of when we started to notice we got these comments that were about mental health and like they were saying that they relied on my videos and stuff. And yeah, so that's kind of how it got started.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like 1 or 2 comments. We got so many comments saying like, you saved my life, your videos make a difference in my life every day. And that's when we sort of realized that, hey, we need to use our influence for like a positive like impact on the world. So that was our goal.
So beautiful, so compassionate, and that's what the world needs more of, compassion and empathy. So as teens, how do you think the pandemic has affected the mental health crisis for your generation? We were talking about it a little bit before you guys tuned in.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of kids nowadays, you know, they're always on media, and I think going online school and everything, they've been on like their computers all day, and then after school, they're on the media, they're on Instagram, TikTok. And so I think that's why we started making videos, because we want to just like bring something that can be different from the media, because they're always like looking at stuff like about their appearance and stuff.
Comparing themselves to what they think is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
I think something that's really important to mention also, Carter, is that like over the past like 10 to 15 years, we've become so much more advanced as a society, and this has caused technology to really boom in our era specifically. And I think that that's another huge reason why the depression rates and the suicide rates are rising, because of both the pandemic and because of technology.
Yeah, it's advancing faster than humans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And we don't have the coping mechanisms to deal with all of this.
Right.
You are heroes. Your videos are a way to connect on mental health. Tell us what you do.
So basically we go out and we have like this spot we go to every night, and it's like a hill and you can overlook the city and there's a sunset. So yeah, Ashton helps me with like all the angles and the editing and everything. And so that's kind of what we do. And we try to pick a song with lyrics that people can relate to and that people feel strongly about.
Yeah, you know, ever since he was just starting out, we've been working together to make these videos, and he always sings with his guitar, and we find these beautiful backdrops, and people really seem to fall in love with his voice, and they've fallen in love with like the whole aesthetic that we've been providing them. And I think it's really relaxing, and it's a great page to look at. And
You're the musician, you're the camera guy.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I love it. Future director, hi, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. So Carter and Ashton have also gone from covering songs to writing their own. Let's take a listen. So proud of y'all.
I've been waiting here for hours, trying to find a superpower to go. And I've been watching life go by. All I do is wonder why it's slow.
You know what? It's just beautiful. I feel your soul and your spirit, and it's just...
Thank you so
You're
much.
just beautiful people. So you founded an organization to help teens cope. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so on Persevere Project, you can find some healthy coping mechanisms, and then you can find my music, some of the covers that we do, and then also we have a Let's Talk button, which is really unique because it's teen to teen, because we're teens. I think a lot of teens can feel comfortable with reaching out to us, and we're just there to listen, and we get like a couple emails a day, and they just pretty much vent to us, and we just are there to listen, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And in order to help some of these teens, we've actually, as you guys played earlier, we wrote Superpower, which is going to be releasing soon. And it's honestly a very good coping mechanism for teenagers to actually use in case they're ever feeling down, because we wrote the lyrics so that way they're relatable for other people. We actually wrote it about being lost in yourself and trying to find your way back home. So that's the lyric where we say, I've been waiting here for hours, trying to find the superpower to go home. And at the end of the song, we actually wrote in a part that says, don't let it keep you down if you can't find your way back home. So that's sort of the silver lining of the whole thing. And when we were writing it, actually, we used an escape room as an analogy, trying to make it so like people are trying to escape and they're trying to find their way home. So yeah.
That is so beautiful. And just, I want to relate to you how important this is to Kelly. She's really taken by you guys. And she said that she used writing music as a mechanism to help her with her, you know, down times when she was growing up. So I think what you're doing is amazing. What I love also is that you're both very careful to set expectations with people who use your site, right? Because we're not professionals, but we can also, what I love is that you've created this safe space.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most unique things about our platform is that we're not professionals.
Right.
And I feel like that honestly gives a greater incentive to teens to reach out to us, because a lot of people feel like, oh, if I'm gonna reach out to like a professional, then it's a big deal, you know? But we're here and we're just here to listen, and we won't judge anybody, and that's why I think it's a very unique platform.
So beautiful. Well, like I said earlier, I founded the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation in honor of my father, who struggled with mental illness. Tracy Jade is my executive director for the foundation and my co-host for our Facebook Watch show, Peace of Mind, and also my best friend since the 7th grade. We have her here live. Hi, bestie. Hi. Programs, yes, isn't this amazing? I got teary-eyed. Programs like the Persevere Project are so important, right? I mean, we need these young men.
Absolutely. And what I love about it is that they weren't waiting for anybody to come in and say, do this or do that. They created this for themselves first.
Yes.
And then reached out to others. I mean, I think it's amazing what you're doing. We have something in the Henson Foundation called the Unspoken Curriculum. And that is where we have all kinds of homework assignments. We have, you know, what the next lesson is going to be. But we don't address the unspoken curriculum, what we're walking around with as young people and what we're learning just from interactions. Like you talked about earlier, social media being one of the pitfalls for folk when they're dealing with their mental health challenges. So what you've done is, as Taraji said, you've created this amazing safe space for young people to talk to young people. And I think that's going to go a long way. I am so excited about this. I hope that this is replicated with other teens. And I'm looking forward to seeing how many hearts you're going to heal through this.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy. Mwah. We're not the only ones impressed with the Persevere Project. We actually have a message for you, both of you, Carter and Ashton, from the governor of your home state, Arizona. Check this out.
Hey, Ashton and Carter. This is Governor Doug Ducey. On behalf of all your neighbors here in Arizona, I want to thank you for your work to protect and preserve the mental health of Arizonans. As you guys know, this year has been especially challenging for Arizona's kids. You've had to spend far too much time learning at home, behind a computer screen, away from your friends and teachers. Thankfully, our students are back in the classroom, and because of you two, they have a new support system and are getting the help they need. On behalf of the entire state, thank you for all you're doing to keep Arizonans healthy and safe. Keep up the great work.
Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I know a couple people. Yeah. We all love what you're doing and want to see the Persevere Project grow. That's why we're giving you $5,000.
Thank you so much.
You're
That's
so
amazing.
welcome. Thank you so much,
awesome.
Carter and Ashton. Again, I can't express how proud I am of you two. You're heroes.